Warren Buffett and Mr. Masami Atarashi both went through a dumb machine transformation when they were first starting out in their business careers. Two men on opposite sides of the Pacific, growing up in different cultures, speaking different languages, yet united through the same single spark that ignited them and set their careers on a tremendous upward trajectory. Find out how in today's show. Welcome back to this weekly edition every Monday of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, the president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan, and the best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and my new bestseller, Japan Business Mastery. We are bringing the show to you from our High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. Why the cutting edge? In this show, we are looking at the critical areas for success in business in Japan. We want to help advance everyone's thinking so that we can be at the forefront, at the cutting edge on how to flourish here in this market. Before we get into this week's topic, here's what caught my attention lately. Driver shortages are getting worse year by year. I hope self-driving technology will be realized soon, as driver shortages will affect the logistics of farm products in Hokkaido, according to Kazuyuki Uchida, chairman of the Hokkaido Federation of Agricultural Cooperatives in Hokkaido. Recently, UD Trucks, a Japanese unit of Sweden's AN Volvo, conducted a Level 4 experiment in Hokkaido with autonomous driving. Level 4 means the truck performs all the driving tasks without human intervention within a limited area, even in emergencies. The truck traveled 1.5 kilometers at 20 kilometers an hour, successfully navigating its way to a beet processing plant using a global positioning system and sensors. Every day during the growing season, that processing plant receives 250 trucks. SB Drive Corporation, a subsidiary of SoftBank, has been operating 3 autonomous electric 11-seat minibuses at the Fukushima No. 1 nuclear complex. Takekazu Inoue, he's a senior specialist of the Japan Research Institute, says Japan is going to face a mobility crisis and the country needs to take the issue more seriously. In other news, the Japanese cabinet has approved rules for operating partially self-driving vehicles. The newly described penalties apply to inappropriate use of Level 3 autonomous driving, which requires users to switch to manual conditions when preset conditions regarding road type, driving speed, weather, time of the day, and other factors are no longer met. Vehicles with autonomous driving capabilities must be equipped with travel data recorders for analysis of traffic accidents. The Diet passed a bill allowing Level 3 autonomous driving, which will come into effect by next May. Finally, Kizuna Ai, the most popular YouTube streamer in Japan, is an anatomically exaggerated, perpetually adolescent girl in frilly thigh-high socks and a pink ribbon. She's almost an entirely virtual character, given life by the actions and voice of an invisible actress. Millions follow her, and this has spawned thousands of copycats and a cottage industry of virtual YouTubers or VTubers. The creator, Activate Inc., uses Hollywood-grade motion capture equipment. Kizuna can interact with fans in real time, give interviews on live TV, and perform in concerts. According to Eiji Araki, Senior Vice President at GRI Inc., the innovation here is how they combine real-time 3D computer graphics, motion picture capture, and video streaming sites like YouTube to create two-way interactions with audiences. Market researcher User Local Inc. estimates there are 9,000 VTuner channels in Japan. Activate introduced a Chinese version of Kizuna, changing the voice and dress, and has 820,000 followers already. Activate founder Takeshi Osaka said, "I started this virtual entertainer business because I believe it can be done worldwide. Our goal is to become the next generation Disney." This is episode number 108, and we are talking about Japanese leadership legend Mr. Atarashi's breakthrough. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Ever heard that a training course changed someone's life? It was good. I enjoyed it. I learned something new. Maybe. Warren Buffett, the famous American billionaire investor, is a huge Dale Carnegie fan and often mentions this in TV interviews about how the Dale Carnegie course changed his life. Being in Japan, it's great to hear a leading local businessman like Mr. Masami Atarashi say the very same thing. He's very well known in Japan and these days spends his time writing, adding to the 40 books he's already published, and giving public speeches as well as training executives. Previously, he headed up Johnson & Johnson, Philips and Hallmark in Japan as president. He gave a brilliant talk at our graduate party on being successful in business in Japan. He also shared with me how the course impacted him. The Dale Carnegie course changed my life. When I was asked to make a speech to an audience or to a customer, etc., I trembled with fear. I was a lousy speaker, not so much technically, but mentally. Halfway through the Dale Carnegie course, I found myself beginning to enjoy talking. That's one significant visible change which occurred in me. And overall, I began to look at things in a more positive way. Instead of saying we can't do it, I started looking at how can we do it? The whole mindset changed, and that happened when I was 32. Like many senior Japanese businessmen who took the Dale Carnegie course in their younger days, he rose to the top ranks in Japan because of how he applied these ageless and universal principles of how to get on with other people and how to get their active cooperation. Buffett and Atarashi share a common passion for a system of training that has been so carefully refined over the last 100+ years. It changes with the times but never dates, because the person-to-person relationships are always the centerpiece of any successful business arrangement. We may believe that technology has completely changed how we communicate and how we interact with the business world, now that we are connected together on email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, etc. The reality is we don't do deals over business social media. We want to look the business partner in the eye and confirm we can trust them. This is especially in Japan, and especially when dealing with foreigners. We determine the trust through listening to what is being said and how it is being said. Everyone puts their best face forward, their trust me mask, and we are trying to get behind the superficial and drill down to the reality. We're all racing around in business with our antennae on full throttle, trying to dodge the dodgy types and find some trustworthy keepers as business partners. Should be easy, right? But is it? Find out more when we come back from the break. If you want to become skilled at dealing with people, then sign up for the Dale Carnegie course. Fully road tested for the last 100 years. This course is super popular globally and in Japan too. We've been teaching this for over 50 years here. Improve your ability with people, really ramp up your communication and leadership skills, grow your confidence and end your stress. Contact us to do the Dale Carnegie course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. People say the dumbest things to us, ruining their credibility. Sometimes I am amazed by what I hear. I was in my gym gear recently waiting to pick up my car at the Tokyo American Club after a workout, and a long-established businessman I have known socially for many years was also waiting for his car. He looked me over and said disparagingly, "So what are you trying to prove?" I was flummoxed by the question, and I'm still not quite sure how to answer it, but more so because of his poor human relations skills on display. I thought, wow, how has this guy lasted so long in business if his communication skills are so poor? Well, it didn't last, and he got the axe from his job, which hardly came as a surprise to me when I heard about it. We see people who are quite clever, mysteriously scoring own goals all of the time because they can't control what comes out of their mouth, or because their self-awareness level is hovering somewhere around or below zero. The Japanese call it KY, an acronym using English to abbreviate kuki o yomu, or kuki o yomanai in this case, or can't read the air, or no sense of occasion as possible translations. Trust me, these KY people will have a hard life in business, getting others to cooperate with them or getting people to follow them. They can pull position power on the team and force everyone's compliance. This is a long way, though, from having the team really engaged, actively thinking, how can we win against the competition, or how can we have things run better around here? Business is too complex for us to do it all by ourselves anymore. The day of the lone hero is over. Today, we need the hero team to get things done, and it requires much, much more specialization. But with that often comes a poverty of skills in other key areas. These would include persuading people rather than trying to order them. Also getting willing cooperation instead of whipping them into a frenzy of reluctance and resistance. Having tremendous technical skills but surprising little common sense. Well, here's the bad news. Being smart is good, but it isn't good enough. We need to be better communicators, better with people, better with diversity, more capable with complexity, and more flexible in thinking of solutions to issues. Buffett and Atarashi both discovered that the Dale Carnegie course was a source of answers to a lot of the business challenges they faced. They both learned how to be successful working through other people. There is a good yet simple reason this course is still around after 100 plus years. It works. That is why it is paid the ultimate compliment of having changed their lives, careers, and fortunes. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show is here to help you succeed in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Become a regular. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. Our website details are on screen now. enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. It's awesome value, so check it out. Please leave me some feedback on YouTube. I'd love to know how this show has helped and what other topics you are interested in for me to cover. Remember, I'm here as a free resource to help you, so just tell me how I can help you best. You might also enjoy my other weekly shows for podcasts. Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series. Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series. Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series. And Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Get these wherever you get your podcasts. Also on Fridays, I release my other TV show, the Japan Business Mastery Show, on YouTube. In episode 109, we are talking about we are always sorry in Japan before we get up to talk. Find out more about that next week. So, yoroshiku, onegai itashimasu. Please join me for the next episode of the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. We are here to help you. And we've only got one direction in mind for you and your business, and that is up.